Hey everybody, what is going on? Siri Love Drive here, and today we're playing some Entropia Universe. We're going to be doing a 500 PED mining run with a level 13 amplifier. And while we're doing this crazy run, we're going to be talking about the future of Entropia Universe. So let's get into it. First things first, this is a high level amplifier, and to give you an idea of how high, this is where we're sitting right now. It's got 340 PEDs of TT on it. I paid a huge markup on this amplifier. Let's do one drop and see just how much we lose. Are you ready for this? Boom. Hit that button. We're doing the drop. We're doing the drop. Oh, not yet. Sorry. We're going to hit that button. All right, let's do that drop. Let's do that drop. There we go. 40 PEDs in one drop. Every drop counts. And if I'm not getting a global with each drop, that means I am losing. That was a 40 PED loss right there. I could lose 50 USD on this whole run. So I'm a little bit nervous. But what I want to talk about right now is the future of Entropia Universe. So for those of you who don't know, Entropia Universe is entering 2025, which means the game is coming up on 20 years old. And the big question anyone has to ask is, how is Entropia Universe going to survive? What is coming next, and is it enough? Because there is so much more to compete with nowadays than there used to be. For instance, back in the day, Entropia Universe, a game where PEDs, or the currency in the game, is worth real money, it didn't have much to compete with. If you were a gamer and you wanted to make money playing video games, this model was the only model that works. Nowadays, there's a million different models that can make you money playing video games. You can become a streamer, YouTuber, you can compete competitively, you could even make cheats or play for Elon Musk or do all sorts of crazy things, but there's a lot of ways that you can make money playing video games. You don't need to play a game where the currency is equal to real cash. But, oh, there we go. Boom. We got a global. That is a 13 PED hit. Where am I on the global list? Oh, and I missed it. All right. It's so hard to see. I hate that. I do not like this new UI. Like, everybody says you got to play with this series, you got to figure it out, but I keep missing things. I don't know if anyone else has that feeling, but when I go back and I watch my videos, okay, I watch the videos because I'm a bit narcissistic. I like to listen to myself talk. I think my voice sounds amazing. Sometimes when I'm just having a quiet night at home, I light some candles and listen to myself playing. No, I don't. That would be very weird. I hope none of you have any candles lit while you're listening to me right now. You should be drinking beers, doing manly things, or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, what I want to say is the UI feels worse, and it's a transitive UI. What that means is they're trying to get us ready for Unreal 5. Hopefully, Unreal 5 has a lot of cool stuff in it, and the UI changes are all going to make sense once that happens. Unreal 5 is coming in 2025. This would be the second time this game has transitioned between graphics engines. So, for those of you who don't know, back in the day, around 2008, I was playing the game back then. The game, there we go, 53 PDs. So that hit was about break even. So we're still down a bit, but it is what it is. So back in the day, right, the game transitioned from this old engine, I forget what it was, to this current engine, Crytek. It's been using this engine for over 10 years, almost 15 years, which is a long, long time. Or maybe it was in 2008, maybe it was 2010. It's been using this engine for a long time either way. I'm old, I forget the dates. But what happened was the game was transitioning between engines. It was a huge thing. A lot of players left, a lot of players got upset because why can't I do this? Okay, well, that sucks. Well, a lot of people got upset. And the reason they got upset is because they wanted the game to stay the same. They didn't want the game to change. They thought that the graphics shouldn't change, everything should stay the same. And there were some issues, right? There were some transitive problems. There were things that people didn't like, and some players did leave the game. I want to be cognizant of that because I'm worried that one of the things that's going to happen is I'm going to say the UI sucks. There's going to be some of us that hate the UI. We leave the game, and then we don't realize that it was a transitive issue. It was an issue that was going to be fixed once the new graphics engine comes. Right now, personally, I don't know about anybody else, but I think this UI is pretty not so great. Pretty trash. It doesn't feel as good as the old one. The old one's what I got used to. There we go, another global. Boom, boom, boom. All right, all right, all right. We're breaking even, folks. There's people that watch this video and they think I'm making a ton of money. I am not. So the UI, it doesn't feel good to me. And a lot of people agree with that. I've talked to other people, and everybody sort of says I like the old UI better. Even the people who play the game a ton got used to this UI and they've got hotkeys all over. They like the old UI better. This one you can tweak a little bit more. There's a few more things you can play with, and hopefully that means that that's just opening things up for the Unreal Engine. But if it isn't, I'm worried about it. Now, Unreal 5 is, I think, in my opinion, going to be a big improvement. The reason for this, and we're going to get into new professions and stuff and some really cool space changes coming. The reason for this is, A, we need a new graphics engine. This engine doesn't look that bad. I look at this game and I say, hey, it doesn't look that bad. But Unreal 5 takes us to the next level. It keeps this game going. It keeps this game relevant. It keeps this game as a cutting edge but top of the line MMORPG. Entropia Universe, it deserves a spot there, in my opinion, and it keeps the game there. In addition to this, upgrading makes it easier for a lot of things to happen. Unreal 5 is an engine that's used by a lot more people, so there's things that they can do. There's items that they can buy. There's shops and all sorts of stuff that can be utilized to make add-ons a lot quicker with the new engine, which hopefully means that the dev team is going to be able to work a lot faster. The other thing too is when you're hiring devs, it's nice to be hiring devs for a game engine that they're familiar with. I'm a programmer, for those of you who don't know, and one of the things you look for when you're hiring someone is, have they used the language? Have they used the tools that they're going to be working with at this new company that you're hiring for? Because if they have, that's a big plus, right? Like if someone comes in and they say, hey, I haven't worked with, let's say, a programming language like Python, but I've got experience with backend languages like Java. That's great. But if someone comes in and they say, hey, I've got a ton of experience with Python and a little bit of experience or no experience with Java, I'm more likely to hire the person with the Python experience because it's going to be easier. There's going to be less issues transitioning them over. And in an industry where people tend to leave every couple of years, that's important. If it takes someone a year or two to get up to speed, by the time they're up to speed, they're looking for a new job, and that is rough. And I don't fault people for that. I do the same thing. It's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. I would love to be able to. Boom, there we go. Did we get a double global with that one? There we go. We got some list. 69 PEDs right there. And do we have another global with that? Do we? It looks like we do not. But we got a double hit, so you know what this means. You know what this means, folks. We got to do the double drop. Fingers crossed. We're spending almost 100 PDs in this area. We got some hoglows over there. That's pretty cool, actually. I like hoglows. And we got nothing. Ooh, that was a bad call on my part, but it is what it is. Let's get this stuff up and let's keep talking. So it's going to be easier to hire for Unreal 5, and there's also like there's a lot of little like boosts that they can get from Unreal 5, in my opinion. Little scripts that they can add and things that they can make possible that wouldn't be possible if they were using the same old engine where people had to do everything from scratch. It depends how good the people coding the game are. But from what I've seen, it seems like they've got a solid understanding of it. It seems like solid decision making there. In addition, when it comes to new professions, I don't agree with what they're doing. So there's a new skill coming, and that would be mining in space. If you don't know, I'm Serial Lover Drive. I've done a ton of mining. If you go back to 2013, 2014, whenever I started making these videos, I was always mining. I'm a miner. And the fact that they're adding a new mining profession is great, but I think it's going to be a lot like the treasure finding profession. There's one planet you can go to find treasure. That planet's Arcadia, and nobody seems to really bother with treasure finding because there's not really much markup there. There's not much use for it. People just generally don't care. And the reason that sucks is because the skills just sort of sit there. There's an empty skill. It's a reminder of a failed promise. And I honestly think space mining is going to be the same way. It's very hard to run through space, and it can take a while to get anywhere. And space mining seems like one of those things that there's like 10 people who have a specialty ship who are going to be better at it. And like, I don't know if I see the use case for it. I think there needs to be more work put into making the economy viable at the scale that it's at. Right now, there are so many resources, so many things that people loot that can't be used, so much wasted potential, and adding another thing to it, confusing it with more stuff. I don't know if that's the right way to go. I get what they're doing. It seems like they're doing this update right compared to some of the other ones that they've done. They're coming out with this howling mine. They're selling apartments. It seems like it's like a whole sort of world that they're trying to create around space mining. And I really do like that. I think that is a good approach. I just don't know if space is a thing they should be working on. It's too big, it's too vast, it's too empty. And even if you get every single player online in space, it's still gonna feel pretty empty. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, space is big, space is scary, space is deep and dark, and you don't know what there is. There's a reason Starfield had issues. It's because space is deep, dark, and scary, and there's not really much to see. Most of the time, you're just running around seeing absolutely nothing, so people result to warping around. Entropia didn't have warps, and we're going to be getting into that, but as of, it seems like Q1 of 2025, they're going to be adding space mining, and I don't think that's going to put anyone else in space. It's not going to add too much to space. There's still pirates. It's still lootable, which means a lot of people aren't going to bother with it because who likes lootable? In fact, right here, I'm mining in PvP. This isn't lootable PvP. I don't go there because it's a game. It's a real cash economy game, and it really sucks to lose money to another player looting you in a real cash economy game, because not only are you losing your time and everything it took you to get there, you're losing real value, real money. So a lot of people, they just don't bother with PvP in space. And one of the things too is I've done PvP, like I've done PvP where you can loot players. In Entropia Universe, I genuinely feel bad about it. When I loot another player in Entropia Universe, if I get a good loot from them, I feel bad. I feel like I stole something. I feel like I did something a little naughty. I feel like I stole from someone, right? In Rust is a game where you raid someone's base and you are taking everything from them. But you know in a month everything wipes, and you know if people weren't taking everything from each other, the game wouldn't be as addictive, it wouldn't be as exciting, it wouldn't be as fun. But in Entropia Universe, it feels like you're just taking from someone for no reason. You're not adding to the game, you're just adding to your pocket. And to me, it just feels wrong. I know it's not. I know it's part of the game. Everybody there made that decision, but it just doesn't quite feel right to me. And I think pushing space and trying to keep going with it isn't the right call. They are adding teleporters now, so people can teleport between planets for a fee. I think that is the right call. Making space smaller, making it easier for players to skip that sort of area of the game, I think that's good. I think people being able to jump between planets is overall a really good thing, because what it means is players are no longer going to have to worry about space and lootable PvP, and it's going to be easier to get resources between planets. And some of the planets that are dead now might not be dead because players can just fill their inventory and jump around. And I like that. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that take, but I like it. I think it's overall I think it's good, but overall I do think that this is the beginning of the end for space. I think that the space mining thing is an attempt to keep space busy. It'll work for a little bit because players always like the next new thing, but long term I don't think it's gonna work. I just don't see it. Unless there's something big coming with Unreal, but in my opinion, this means that Unreal's moving away from space. If that happens, again, I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to be great for people who own stuff outside of Calypso, because those planets are going to see more people visiting them, especially if teleporters don't cost really much, or if they do something like waive fees for the first couple, I don't know, months or whatever of the Unreal update. There's a lot of really cool stuff they could do to re-energize the game. And I like that. I love that. I don't see Entropia Universe as a game that is going to end in 2025. As much as it's something that I'd love to say, because that makes for a great title, the end of Entropia Universe in 2025. And people have called me out for putting that in videos before. This time I really don't believe it. I just don't see it. Even if I want that cool title, I can't do it because I just can't see it. There's a lot of really exciting stuff coming in 2025. MindArt, the makers of Entropia Universe, are a publicly traded company. They're focusing on this game. I looked at their books, and it seems like they're actually pretty decent revenue, income, everything like that wise. I've had a chance to work with some of them in this whole Creators Club thing, and they're pretty level-headed people. Everybody's chill. Everybody's normal, I guess. And I think that's a good thing. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy, that wasn't good. How much list did we get? I know it was a 69 PED hit. I just got killed by a Hoglow provider. I don't want to have to come back here and take it, because I have trouble with those. How much did we get? 64 PDs. There's 5 PDs left there. Do we go for it? You've got to. We've got to do it. We need to do a quick repair on this though. But yeah, as much. Okay, so the Transformers repair. I don't know what's going on there. So as much as I would like to be the guy that says this is never gonna work, right now I don't. Why can't I do this? Item can't be dragged here. This is just weird. I've been having all sorts of issues with the game. This is the one thing that could kill Entropia Universe. For instance, since we're back here, let's pick on something here. Let's open my storage and let's see how long it takes for this page to load. Watch this. This is something that's bugging me because this auction every time I switch a page, anytime I try to do anything in this game, this is what I'm dealing with. Just watch. Let's see how long it takes. Are you getting bored yet? There we go. And anytime I switch pages, that's how long it takes. I don't know what's going on with Mind Arc. That's an issue that's recently popped up. But if that comes over in Unreal, it doesn't matter how good the game is. They're going to lose people and they're going to be dead in the water. I don't know if anyone else is facing issues like that or if it's just me, but it's a little weird. I've had some weird issues with the game. Like another issue I had, I was going to make a video on it, but I forgot, is the game was running on my it wasn't set up as a game. It was set up as a browser some of the time on my computer, and because of that, it was running on my like integrated GPU instead of my dedicated GPU, and it was having all sorts of issues and lag, and it just looked filthy. So there's like weird oddities that pop up like that. And I think my hope is that Unreal and the transfer from that old engine is going to help that, but we'll see what happens. But, oh, there we go. Another hit. What do we get? 54 PEDs. Do we have another one coming? And a 61 PED. Boom, that's 100 PEDs right there. We're going to drop another victory probe right now, right here. Right now, as Fat Boy Slim says. Let's see if we get that hit. Nope. Shouldn't have done it. We've done it twice and we wasted 100 PEDs. That is rough, folks. But yeah, like it seems like everything looks good for the game. Like I don't see that much negativity coming. Like this update seems fairly well thought out. There's gonna be bugs, there's gonna be issues. The update was delayed. I know people were upset about that, and rightfully so, because the update was delayed, ships weren't coming when they were promised, and that always sucks, but I'm someone who's worked in like a software company. If someone tells me something with software is coming out in a month, I figure it'll come out next year. If they say it's going to come out in 10 years, they'll release it in 5. And if they say they have no idea when it's going to come out, they're probably going to release it that day, because that's just how software engineering works. I have no idea why. I hate it, and somehow I find myself falling into the same pattern. I'm called into a room, I'm talking about a project that I'm leading and all that, and it's like, yeah, we're going to get this done in Q1, so looks like revenues are going to see a slight boost. We've got a transfer here that, like, we're going to do a switch over here. This is all going to work out. We've got the game plan down. We're all good to go. And then Q1 comes, and you're just like, whoa, we're doing this in Q2. Q2 comes. I think Q3 is when we launch, and then you launch end of Q2. Everybody's happy because you didn't do Q3, you did end of Q2. And, something goes wrong, you lose $1 million. Then everything gets back on track and everybody's happy that you did it, hopefully. But yeah, it's a weird software development, and like figuring out when things are going to launch is just this weird thing that just hasn't been solved somehow. It should have been, but it hasn't been. And yeah, that's just like when you work in the industry, it's a thing, so it doesn't bother you. But I can see why people are upset. It sucks when that happens, especially when you've invested money. It's not company money, it's money that means something to you. I get that. But it seems like they're doing this update right overall, and it seems like Unreal's still coming along, still progressing, and the UI change, that's the only big negative I see, but you gotta assume Mind Arc knows what's going on here, and they're doing this to get us ready for Unreal. In which case, it might not even be a bad thing. So, when it comes to 2025 and Entropia Universe, I think the future looks pretty bright. That said, I'm still playing with the idea of withdrawing some money just because I keep looking at it and realizing I'm getting more and more and more USD in Entropia Universe, and I don't want to be in a position where it's some like I all right, without getting too detailed on anything. I don't want it to be more than a couple percent of my net worth. Um, so do with that what you will, but I'm trying to keep the value of my account down below that, and we're not there yet, but we're encroaching on it. You know, if the stock market goes to shit, I might be in a sticky situation, if we say the least. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking for Entropia Universe in 2025. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I'm really curious what people are gonna say on this one because there's a lot of opinions. I know there's a lot of people who love the game, a lot of people who hate the game. There's some people who think that I should just be talking positively about the game, and some people who think I should never say anything good about the game. To each their own, but I want to hear your opinions. Also, if you like Serial Overdrive, the brand, everything around me and Entropia Universe, I do with merchandise. If you get it, let me know. Take some pictures with it. I'll post it in the community notes. It's always cool to see people buying the stuff, wearing the stuff. If you got a mug, you know, it's cool to see people with the Serial Overdrive mug playing a game, and I'm like, oh man, that's a thing. And I always ask, like, some people, I've had two people send me pictures of their merch. I say, hey, you know, do you want me to post a picture? And sometimes, both times they've said no. So, not no, but they've said like, well, you know, you can if you want to, but I'd rather not, or like I don't like. They gave me the vibe that they didn't want to post it, but they didn't want to say no. And I was like, okay, like we just won't do it. It's not a big deal. It really isn't either. But it's cool to see people enjoying the merch. You know, it's a little thing that I put out into the world. I figure when the account's dead and gone, and I am too, maybe some mug with my logo will make it into the apocalypse. 54 PDs of oil. We've got a little bit of time left to go on this one. But yeah, I don't know, I've had a lot of fun with YouTube. I've had I've had a good year, I'd say. A scary year and a good year at the same time. For those of you who don't know, we're just gonna talk about me because I'm a narcissist. And it would be way weirder if I talked about someone else, because that would mean I'm some sort of weird stalker. Like, yes, this woman whose window I look through every night, she is having a very great year. It looks, I don't know why I've got a weird accent, but it's because I'm disassociating. It's just so creepy. I can't even pretend to be myself and do something like that. But no, like, but it's been a heck of a year. So, you know, it started off, me and the wife, we had planned, like, do some travel, explore, take the kids to some cool places. I left my job. It wasn't the best way to do it. Like, you know, there were layoffs and all that. And when you get caught up in one of those, you got some choices to make. And it was a mutual thing, but also it was one of those things where, like, the writing was sort of coming up on the wall, and I took an exit because I thought it would allow me to pursue some good things in life. It gave me. I still don't have a job actually. It gave me a lot of time to spend with my kids. I really do appreciate that because one of the things that my grandfather, before he passed away, like literally, you know, he knew I was having kids, but he wasn't. Yeah, it didn't look like he was gonna make it to see them. And you know, like we were close, like when I was little. And one of the things he said was, he's like, you know, the best days of my life were just watching the kids grow up, like getting to spend time with them. So make sure you treasure that, because that's something like you can't really, you know, you can work your whole life and you can't buy that time back. You can't buy those memories. Like it's here today, and if you don't grab it, it's gone tomorrow. So I thought, I've got the opportunity to grab it, so I just did it. And it's been great. You know, we went to Japan, just lived out there. It was, you know, we're not doing anything crazy, not being tourists every single day. Just go down to the local 7-Eleven, get some sushi, get some edamame, walk around, you know, take the kids to a playground, just, you know, show them things, teach them new words, show them new things, make new memories. And there's a ton that I made. And that was, you know, it's it's weird because it's one of those things that like it's you never know what's gonna come with life, but it's just like being able to see things through their eyes and actually spend that much time with them. Every now and then it drives you nuts because there's a bit of an age gap between me and my kids. That makes sense. That's how it should be. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. I probably made more memories in a year than I made in the last 10. And, even the last couple with them, more memories with, just this one time. I think it's the same for them. Like they've come a long way. They've learned a lot of stuff. And it's not just like, it's not just like school things. It's not mathematics or anything like that. Like I'm able to teach them that. Like computer engineering, I've gone through like quite a bit of schooling. So I do know like basic elementary school science and all of that. I didn't want to do the homeschooling thing, so this was just like a summer trip that we did, but still, kept them up to date and all that. But yeah, it was really really good. There we go, nice last bit of crude oil there. I'm not trying to show off either, because this sounds extravagant, I guess, but it's not as extravagant as you think, I guess. You need to make money, right? I've got to go back to work. I've got to make money. I can't just leave everybody around me in a lurch and decide I want to make memories for the rest of my life. That'd be great, but I can't do it. I'd love to do something like YouTube. That would be amazing. If I could make this a career and have it where I can sit down and do videos like this and be done and then go spend time with my kids. These don't take that long to do, but even if I'm doing 8 hours of YouTube, I'd love it because I get done with this. I feel like I've created something. I feel better about myself. It's not like that every day that I'm working. I've had bosses that are tough on you. I've had meetings go wrong, things like that. But maybe because it's a hobby, I don't know. Every time I get done with YouTube, I just feel better. It is what it is, and it makes me a better person. So I like it. Rust did not make me a better person. Let's be honest here. Not everything about YouTube, not every game I've played have made me a better person. Rust didn't, but Entropia Universe, doing videos like this, it does, because I feel like I'm putting something out there into the universe. I know some of you are listening, and some of you will take something away from this. I've talked about this before, but like a couple, maybe 5 years ago now, there was someone that contacted me and they're like, "Hey, Serial, I just wanted to say thanks." And to me, I'm like, "All right, thanks, yay. What did I do? What did I do? What are you thanking me for before I take credit for this?" And they said, like, they just listened to me talk and they decided to go into computer engineering before me, and they just, because they heard me talking about it, and they went through college and they just got this amazing job, and now they're able to start this great life with this great salary, this great place, and they never thought they'd make it there. And they're just like, "Man, if you talked about it, and that got me intrigued, and that sent me down that path." And it was the same with me. There's a movie, Hackers. It's a very campy teenage like movie type thing. I loved it. It hit me at the right time and right age. It was beautiful. I still think I could make a whole essay going over why I think this movie's amazing. But it got me into computers. I started going online, going on forums, looking into this stuff, and it dove me deeper and deeper, and eventually I become a computer engineer. And then, many, many, many years after I saw that movie, because of that movie, I'm able to take a year off. But yeah, it's not this crazy extravagant thing. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. You just need to be able to live in a place that's smaller. We downsized the home. We got rid of some cars. The car that we do have is a cheaper car, shittier car. It's still safe, but it's shittier. And that's okay. It meant that I got to have those memories, and it turns out those are priceless. Like that's something, it's just, there's certain things in life you can't buy, no matter how much money you have. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, there's things they can't buy. And sometimes those are the most valuable things of all. So I don't regret it. And I did say scary. So the scary part, and luckily it seems like this is all over. One of my kids had some. I'm hesitant to say it because I don't want to get too deep into anything involving My kids, like, I try to be very vague about age. Like, people know they're in school, but not where, like, what age. Because this channel, it's me. I don't show my face, so, but it's me. Um, and those around me, I wanted to affect their lives as little as possible. Because that's not a choice they made. That's, I made the choice to do this. Let's head back and see where we're at. Um, we'll walk it in. But yeah, there's some issues. Went to the doctor. They said there might be something wrong with the brain. We did some scans. Scans came back not looking great, right? Not great. This was after all those trips, everything like that. And that's it's scary, right? Like that's you know, with kids, it's like a whole different thing, right? Like you put a gun to my head, like that's scary. But it's way scarier if you put a gun to my kids' heads. Like way scarier. And that's something like it makes sense to everybody. But like when you're a parent, like you really feel it. Like you see those movies where like someone's kids get kidnapped, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm with this person. Like when I was like when I didn't have kids, sometimes I see those movies. I thought, well, that's a little dramatic. Now I see that stuff. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna cut this dude's dick off to find like, let's do it. Let's get this guy. Like I'm all on board. Like torture, whatever. I'm like, nah, those are your kids. You got to do what you got to do. Like I don't think I'd be doing that, but I get it. Um, yeah, it was scary. Eventually, we did some more scans, did some more tests, ran through a lot of stuff, a lot of money, and turned out it wasn't really that big of a deal. Turned out everything was okay, thankfully. Still have to do some follow-ups and make sure that like it seems like everything is not fatal, which is the most important thing of all, and not going to affect happiness, which is also very important. So, and hopefully not going to affect life at all. But that was, really, really scary. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. 2024 has been a very big year for me as far as growth goes. Bank accounts didn't go up; they went down. YouTube account, I was thinking I'd focus on some more, but I didn't get a chance. Um, but it was a good year. It was a really, really good year for me, and hopefully 2025 is going to be just as good for me and for my dark. Just to bring things all the way back. Now let's get into this. We did 500 PEDs here. Remember, we got like 4 PEDs of oil still out there, so we can add that in if we want. It is not looking good though. 500 PEDs. Let's throw those probes in. Let's throw those probes in. Get a little bit of extra value here. And it looks like we are down. Oh wait, we 20 TEDs left on the amplifier. 438. What does this mean, folks? This means we need a 60 PED hit to break even. Let's hit the teleporter. Let's go to one last place. Let's drop one last probe, and we call it a day. If this probe hits, we might be in a profit if we see those swirls. If it doesn't hit, we got that L. We're taking that loss. We're losing 60 PEDs. So let's do it. A little bit of drama there, a little bit of like a nice ending. I like it. It feels good. But yeah, I wanted to do an Entropia Universe video. It's been a while, and I know there's people that are like, Serial, what's going on? You got into the creator program, you've been making videos. I try to only do the videos when I'm feeling good, when I'm having a good time, when I have the time to do it, and it won't feel forced. Sometimes when there's like a new game drops, I will force a few videos out just because it's it's nice to do those videos. There's like some long form money, but with Entropia Universe, with a video like this, I can't fake it for 35 minutes. I'm not getting paid enough to do it. So, and even if I was, I don't think I could do it that well. But yeah, what you hear is what I really am. And today's a good day. So it was a good day to make this video. Hopefully everything went off. Hopefully I didn't accidentally like not record. That happens sometimes, and that really sucks. Now, let's equip this. We're by PvP 4. We were by PvP 3 before, but I don't want to go into PvP 4 because that would be a really good loot for someone. Let's hit 3. Let's drop it. Ooh, wait. We're going ores. 20 probes. I don't think we can do everything, because if we do everything, that's going to be too much. Yeah, see? So we can do ore. We're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, drop. Oh, we can't mine in this zone. Okay. We're going away from lootable. That's good. That's good. All right, keep walking. Let's hit that drop. Can't mine in the zone. We're gonna keep going, going, going. Go out a little bit. Hit that drop. Can't mine in the zone. And see what we get. Again, 60 PEDs. That is where we need to be. The question is, can we do it? We made the drop. Let's look for the swirls. Let's look for the swirls. One, two, three, and we got a loss. But that's okay, because we had fun. I like making this video. Hit the like button. If you want some Serial Overdrive merch, it's down below. Let me know what you think of it. Hopefully you like it. It's just the standard Teespring stuff, so don't expect anything to be too amazing, but the prices are extremely low. I'm making most of that stuff I'm making less than $1 on. So if you see the merch and you like it, check it out. Even if it's just a mug, I think it would be cool to know that I've got my little mark across a few different gaming rooms. And that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all had or have a great Christmas, great holidays, great New Year's. I don't know when I'm going to drop this video, but just a great time in general. Until next time, peace.